Hey, beautiful people, beautiful people. What is good? What is good? What is good? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV. Back again, once again, with a confession to make that is long overdue. This one's long overdue. Guys, I have got to share with you one of the worst Airbnb experiences I have ever had in the Philippines. And ironically, it was an Airbnb that I actually featured on my channel. It was probably the first Airbnb that I featured on my channel. Listed in the link in the description area below, guys, is the video that I'm going to talk about, right? I'll tag it at the end of the video if you want to wait until the end of this video as you hear my explanation as to why it was my worst ever Airbnb experience. But if you want to take a moment to go catch it before you watch this video, by all means, description area below, knock it out. Give you a few seconds to go click on it. Alright, anyways, now the location of this particular Airbnb was awesome, right? Kind of had a city center feel right across the street from an SM. So everything that I needed was within walking distance, didn't really have far to travel to get to the things that I need. That is always going to be at the top of the good docs list. Hot water is also another thing that's going to always be at the top of my list. Internet and all of that good jazz. It had it all. As a matter of fact, I think in that particular video, the title was this Airbnb had everything except this, or this was the one thing about the Airbnb that I didn't like, something to that effect. And actually that was surface area or it was basically only the surface reason as to why I really didn't care for that Airbnb at all. Now I think I only stayed there for about 2 or 3 days, so you know me, man, I just sucked it up. But guys, this particular Airbnb had a bug infestation like no other. Like, I believe I recorded this one before I really started to see how bad it was, and I kind of just let it ride without coming up with a follow-up video for you guys, and I apologize for that. But one thing that I did do is I purposely left out the Airbnb information in the description area. That way, anybody who really wanted to know about this particular Airbnb had to contact me, or to call me, or to email me, or whatever, to ask me about it before, so that I could actually tell them the reason why I would not recommend it to them. I kind of felt like I was doing a service to the Airbnb community because I didn't want to make anybody feel bad. But then again, I would never recommend that particular Airbnb to anybody. When I say the bug infestation in that particular Airbnb was bad, y'all, I mean it was bad. It was bad, bad. I'm talking about I had to put my bags and stuff on the table and I had to wrap it up in plastic. I went to the store, right? I went to the Quickie Mart or the 7-Eleven down the street, Quickie Mart, and I had to buy saran wrap and plastic wrap to wrap my bag. I wore the same clothes 3 days in a row. I know, y'all, not good hygiene. Luckily, I wasn't really going out very much in that particular area. You know, I did a couple sights and sounds and stuff, but nothing that really had me out there sweating profusely. So I kind of kept my clothes limited because all of my stuff was wrapped up inside of the bag. If I need to get some new stuff, I would just go to the SM and buy it fresh, as opposed to having to worry about opening my bag and risking bug infestation. Now, a lot of y'all would be like, what kind of bugs that they have in that apartment? Ants were the beginning, but they also had them little baby golden colored cockroaches, man, that were climbing around on everything. Luckily, I didn't have any issues with it while I was sleeping, but you know, towards my run, like I would go in the bathroom and take a quick shower or something like that. Yeah, I would see a couple of them there. I would see them climbing around the bed in the kitchen and shit, or that little makeshift kitchen they had, guys. It was probably one of the worst experiences I had with an Airbnb. A lot of people be like, Doc, why didn't you just leave? Why didn't you just go somewhere else? Why didn't you just ask for a refund? At that particular moment in time, I guess I was a jovial type of person. I was kind of like, man, I'll just suck it up because it's only for a couple of days. So I didn't really want to trip. And then, you know how it is with Airbnb when it comes to getting reimbursed and all of that stuff. It can be a headache. It's never automatic. And then you have to show them what was going on in the Airbnb. You had to do this, you had to do that, or why it didn't work out. And, you know, in the Philippines, ain't no getting your money back anyways. You know, so I kind of felt like rather than making a deal about it because I was only there for a couple of days. I just sucked it up and I stayed in there. But that was horrible. It truly was. Outside of the bug infestation, everything was Gucci. Everything was Gucci. But for me, it's like, man, I think everybody's had at least one bad Airbnb experience, whether it be a shared space, whether it be anything like that, right? Whether it be a shared space, whether it be, you know, bad neighbors or whatever, cigarette smoke or whatever it may be that really, you know, causes you to dislike something. I think most of us have had a bad Airbnb experiences, and this just happened to be mine. If you looked at the apartment video, guys, as you could tell, it was nothing really wrong with the apartment video, right?